problems, but a mortgage ain't one. Another advantage of having a motorhome this size is I'm not too intrusive over the sidewalk, and coming out to the street I am right at the edge. So even if I was 23 feet too, I'd be probably too long. At least I'd probably be sticking off the back a little more. It's just perfect. Like I said though, even if this was 19 or 20 instead of 21, it would be even better. And this guy here had to wait, he had to wait for 3 cars in a row to move out of the way so he could get his spot for his Class C. And he won't be able to stay here for very long, but look at that, and the back window. Again, I keep saying this, why the hell do RVs have so much glass on them? It's kind of ridiculous, and if they smash and it's your house, you got a big problem. I like the plexiglass windows the European RVs have. All the camper vans and motorhomes, they all have plexiglass, usually flip up windows. They're very nice, and they can't be broken that easily either. And they're, you know, if a rock or a stick hits them, they're not going to likely shatter like glass does. So they just make so much more sense. But this guy now, he's probably going to be doing an insurance claim or paying out of his own pocket, but that's going to cost a pretty penny to get that window replaced. If I were him, I would not. I would totally cover it up. I would try to get it fiberglassed over. Oh, look at that. His air conditioning has been smashed up too. Probably a tree branch or something. My God, you know, everything for RVs is cheap or made to break. It drives me nuts. That's why I like buying marine stuff for boats. It just all is such higher quality. So right here next to a mall, he's got his garden on his roof. And he's got his solar shower hanging on the front hood too.
I also got romaine lettuce, I got tomato, and I got lettuce. Jeez. And then I got cucumber in the background. Come next
greenhouse,
month,
garden, shower.
Come by the end of the
end
of next month, I'm going to have a full garden. I'm going to even have spinach. I'm going to have carrots. I'm going to have. That's actually a
bug screen.
That there is a corn or popcorn.
Oh dear God! Enjoy it while we can until they put up signs and kick us out. The solar shower. Oh yeah, she likes it like that.
Yeah. Oh, Granny, your left tit. Oh.
Oh, Granny's left tit is leaking. Oh. 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 Let's talk a little bit about Class C's versus Class B's versus Class A's. And some of you think I have a bias for a certain motorhome. Just a few of you. They're like, oh, well, you only like Class B's, you only like vans and all this, and trying to argue with me all the time. I don't know why you all take it personally. It's a personal choice, and it's all about your current situation. For a lot of people, a big Class A, Class C makes sense. For someone in my situation, which is who I'm talking to mainly on this channel, people that want to do urban city van dwelling and camping, you're gonna have a bad time if you're in a Class A or a Class C. Now, we can go into the whole minimalist lifestyle and the pros and cons of that, and that's another reason I do it too, is I don't want to have too much space and too much junk. What I find personally is the more space I have, even if it's 1 square foot, just gets filled with junk that I don't really need. And it doesn't have any meaning in my life except that I'm carrying around junk all the time. So even if I wasn't in the city and I was out in the country or I was on land somewhere or whatever, and I could have a big Class C or A, I still would have something like this. I wouldn't have a big honking huge mansion on wheels because I don't need and I don't want the extra space. But that being said, that's just a personal thing. If your lifestyle is different, you're in an RV park or you're constantly on the road and you're not in the middle of city centers, and you don't have to worry about parking at parking meters downtown or backing into stalls in mall parking lots and you name it, then get a bigger one if you want. It's no sweat off my back. I'm not saying one way or the other. What I'm doing is appealing to the people who are interested in my lifestyle, who are also in the cities, in large metro urban areas. And they're always asking me advice because I've done this for so many years. And I've had Class A's, Class B's, Class C's. So I've been there, I've done that, and I can tell you, an A and a C is just not viable for this type of lifestyle. I see them around, like the one I just showed you a couple minutes ago. And I see a few Class A's around too, and they're always getting moved, hassled, tickets on their windshield. And I even saw Winnebago get towed last summer while everyone else in their vans were left alone on the same block. I mean, this stuff happens in cities all over the place. If you're taking out more than one parking spot, you're just asking for trouble. That's just the way I look at it, and that's why I think 19, 20 feet is optimum. 21 is pushing it. 21 feet is actually over a lot of municipal bylaws. A lot of ordinances in cities say that 20 feet is the maximum. So, you got to check your local laws for that sort of thing. But I'm not out there hating on the other classes, guys. Also when it comes to Eurovans, a lot of people are like, well, what do you have against the Sprinter? I've already gone over that. You can check my videos for that. I'm very clear on that. I like simple, simplistic. I like the North American engineered engines. I don't like too many computers or electronics on the hood, under the hood, and I don't like expensive parts. So I like tried, tested, and true basic American engines. Works for me. And I like old designs that don't change because they stand the test of time. So I definitely don't think newer is better. Again, that's just my personal opinion, though. If you don't care and you're just going to pay off money to some specialty shop to fix your German engine or your Japanese engine, whatever, that's your call. You can do that. I'm saying that I don't like it for these reasons. It doesn't mean you don't have to, and I'm not telling other people that they have to like this or not like that. So it's kind of funny how on YouTube some people seem to think that, or they seem to take it personally like that. I make jokes about Fords all the time, but geez, I've driven Fords. I know a lot of friends with Fords. It's just a joke. Don't worry about it. Anyways, go get the rig you want, but if you're going to do something like I'm doing in a major city, I'm just trying to give you a heads up there. The bigger ones can cost a lot less than the smaller ones. There's a lot of reasons for that. Fuel economy, parking issues, and especially if you're in a city, it's just a pain. That Class C with the broken window on the back, I see him move around sometimes twice a day. He doesn't even stay in the same place for 24 hours. He has to, though. He's learned that he cannot stay put with that thing. It's just going to be asking for trouble. And the places where people do get away with staying for a long time, when the city comes down on them, then they'll come down hard and they'll just start towing people because you're over length on city streets after a certain amount of time. That's just, it's not fun, guys. And also, like I've said before, one of the nice things about this lifestyle is the fact that you can move around at will. And I actually get excited. Where am I going to go today? Where am I going to park today? It's going to be fun. And if you have a big honkin' rig, you're going to be limited to where you can move to and how often you can move because they're expensive and a lot more difficult to drive in cities. So that's why I have the biased opinions that I do, and I admit I'm biased about it for a reason. Now, if I lived outside of Vancouver and I was living out in Chilliwack or the interior of BC or out in the country anywhere, then it wouldn't really matter what size the vehicle is. So, different strokes for different folks. It depends on where you are in your situation. But don't think you can live in a 40-foot luxury Class A diesel pusher bus in the middle of a city like this. It ain't gonna happen. All right, keep on rocking the free world, guys.
Keep on rocking the free world, yeah.
Freedom is sexy. JustIncredible.tv.
Stick up for freedom. Get your Keep on Rockin' in the Free World sticker now at justincredible.net.